Hello everyone, welcome to Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services. This is a video on monthly policy review, which is also known as MPR, and I'll be discussing monthly policy review for the month of October 2021. MPR is something which is very important both for your prelims as well as for the mains examination. So before we proceed, just a brief idea about the PRS Legislative Research, which releases the monthly policy review. It is an independent research initiative which was founded in 2005, right? So it called for an initiative where they strengthen the legislative process, making people more informed, right? And it also assessed the member of parliament as well as the member of legislative assemblies. For more details, you can refer to their websites. They have a lot more blogs and other stuffs that can help you for the prelims as well as mains examination. And those of you who are new to our channel, do not forget to subscribe Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services on YouTube. If you like this video, if you find this video helpful, do not forget to give a like button. So starting with the first topic, that is Ayushman Bharat Health Infrastructure Mission, something which is again very important for your prelims. Many a times when a mission which is concerned with the health sector become very pivotal for your examination. So what is there in this mission? The Ayushman Bharat Health Infrastructure Mission was launched recently by the government, and it aimed to strengthen the healthcare network across the country within the network of 4 to 5 years. तो कोशिश की जाएगी that within a span of 4 to 5 years, the entire country get a holistic development of healthcare infrastructure, right? This is very essential considering the fact that India has already witnessed a pandemic which we have not seen in the last 100 years, राइट तो एक सेंचुरी में इस तरह की पेंडेमिक नहीं हुई थी. इस वजह से ये बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है जो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर बॉटलनेक्स हमने पेंडेमिक के टाइम में देखी है उसको सुधार किया जा सके. Now, some three major aspects of the missions include. We'll discuss each aspects one by one. So the first is facility for diagnostic and treatment. So the mission aims to enable the early detection of diseases through health and wellness center, which would be established under this infrastructure mission. And the second important provisions is such center would have also provide मेडिकल कंसल्टेशन, राइट? ऐसे पेशेंट्स जो ओपीडी के होंगे, आउट पेशेंट्स होते हैं जितने भी, तो बेसिकली आउट पेशेंट्स डिपार्टमेंट होती है, उनमें जितनी भी फैसिलिटीज़ होंगी टेस्टिंग की, मेडिकल फीस, दैट वुड बी completely free, right? And further 35,000 new critical care beds would also be added in 600 districts. Referral facilities, patients from healthcare facilities would also be provided in 125 districts. So ये सबसे पहली पिलर है, दैट इज द फैसिलिटीज फॉर डायग्नोस्टिक एंड ट्रीटमेंट, जहाँ पे हेल्थ और वेलनेस सेंटर्स होगी. उसके बाद कंसल्टेशंस, टेस्ट और मेडिसिन, ये सारी चीज़ें फ्री होगी. Now the second important is development of diagnostic network. It called for integrated public health laboratories which will create in 730 districts. ब्लॉक लेवल पे अलग अलग यूनिट क्रिएट की जानी है विच वुड बी नंबरिंग अराउंड 3000 ब्लॉक्स, राइट? एंड द नेटवर्क ऑफ डायग्नोस्टिक फैसिलिटीज वुड बी स्ट्रेंथन बाय यूजिंग 5 रीजनल national centers for disease control and 20 metropolitan units plus 15 biosafety labs भी बननी है इसमें. So this is about the diagnostic network that government is trying to create to strengthen the overall diagnostic in the entire country. Now, expansions of existing research institute. So almost existing 18 viral diagnostic or research labs that need to be strengthened. This is what the mission called for. And it also calls for 15 biosafety level labs that has to be operational. During the vaccinations development, we have seen that the biosafety level, 3 level of the basically safety level is very essential for the development of the vaccines. Now, 4 new National Institute of Virology, NIV, जो पुणे में अभी तक सबसे रेपुटेड मानी जाती है, और 4 ऐसे स्टैब्लिश करने की बात की गई, एंड 1 नेशन इंस्टीट्यूट फॉर 1 हेल्थ वुड बी स्टैब्लिश्ड. सो दीज आर द 3 इंपॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट्स ऑफ दिस मिशन. अगर आपको मेंस में भी लिखने के लिए आए तो आप आराम से आंसर्स कर पाएंगे, बट दिस इज मोर स्पेसिफिकली इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर योर प्रीलिम्स एग्जामिनेशन. Krishi Udan 2.0 scheme. This is something which would help the farmers, and this is a scheme which belongs to the Ministry of Civil Aviation. So ministry become important here, and the original scheme was actually announced in February 2020 to assist farmer in transporting their agriculture produce. जहाँ पे उनको एक नेशनल और इंटरनेशनल मार्केट मिलेगी, दे वुड बी गेटिंग दीज टू रूट्स. The revised schemes, which was formulated within the support of AAI, जो कार्गो खास करके जो लॉजिस्टिक सर्विसेज प्रोवाइड करती है, दिस इज AAI कार्गो लॉजिस्टिक्स एंड अलाइड सर्विसेज, which aims to facilitate and incentivize the movement of agri produce which is being produced by our domestic farmers. तो इनको मोटिवेट करना, इनको इंसेंटिवाइज करना और इनके जो फार्म्स प्रोड्यूस है उनको नेशनली एज वेल एज इंटरनेशनली सेल करने के लिए गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ सिविल एविएशन काम करेगी. इट विल इम्प्लीमेंट 53 बेसिकली ये इम्प्लीमेंट की जानी है 53 एयरपोर्ट में अक्रॉस द कंट्री, फोकसिंग स्पेसिफिकली इन द नॉर्थ ईस्टर्न एंड द ट्राइबल रीजन, बिकॉज इस एरिया के साथ प्रॉब्लम क्या है, द रोड विद कनेक्टिविटी इज नॉट गुड. तो जो मेन स्ट्रीम में मार्केट में आने तक में इतनी टाइम लग जाती है कि इनके प्रोडक्ट्स खराब हो जाते हैं. तो सपोज एनी पेरिसेबल आइटम्स और एनी फार्म प्रोड्यूस which has a short shelf life cannot go for such long time, right? So it has to reach market at substantial time. इस वजह से गवर्नमेंट ने कोशिश की है कि इन लोगों को लॉजिस्टिक सपोर्ट प्रोवाइड की जाएगी बाय द मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ सिविल एविएशन. Now, features of the revised scheme की अगर बात करें, first is incentivizing the air transport. पूरी तरह से waiver रखी गई है for landing, parking, navigation charges for Indian freighters at selected airports. Concession, the state would be encouraged to reduce the sale tax on airline terminal, जो fee charged की जाती है cargo handling के लिए, to 1%, and it would be extended to all Udan flight, right? उड़े देश के आम नागरिक was an initiative which was taken by the government of India, which ensure कि हर एक इंडिविजुअल अफोर्डेबल प्राइस पे ट्रैवल कर सके, एयर ट्रैवल कर सके, राइट? सो वो जो सेस है, जो टर्मिनल फीस है, वो इनमें भी एप्लीकेबल हो. डेवलपमेंट ऑफ ई कौशल. ई कौशल स्टैंड फॉर कृषि उड़ान फॉर सस्टेनेबल हॉलिस्टिक एंड एग्री लॉजिस्टिक. एक प्लेटफॉर्म डेवलप की जाएगी विच विल फैसिलिटेट द इंफॉर्मेशन डिसेमिनेशंस ऑफ ऑल द स्टेक होल्डर्स, and it will be a single platform which will provide relevant informations जहाँ पे coordinations, monitoring, evaluation सारी चीज़ें एक जगह पे होगी, right? So this is again very important which will ensure कि वैसे रीजन के फार्मर्स, नॉर्थ ईस्टर्न या टेरेन रीजन्स के फार्मर हैं जो अपने फार्म प्रोड्यूस को एक्चुअली मेन मंडीज तक नहीं सेल कर पा रहे, उनके लिए काफ़ी हेल्पफुल होगी. So if you are answering any question in mains paper regarding the farm welfare or recent initiatives taken by government, तो आप इस तरह के एग्जाम्पल्स जरूर लिखें वहाँ पे. Now the next topic is committee set up for the Nipun Bharat mission. We'll see the detail about the scheme and the recent committee that was set up. So the Department of School Education and Literacy has set up a National Steering Committee, also known as NSC, for the implementations of National Initiative for Proficiency in Reading and Understanding the Numerical. खास करके न्यूमेरेसी की बात की जा रही है. सो दिस इज अंडर द भारत मिशन. एंड वाई गवर्नमेंट हैज ब्रॉट दिस निपुण स्कीम? बिकॉज गवर्नमेंट वांट कि ऐसे बच्चे जो क्लास या ग्रेड 3 तक आए, उनको एक बेसिक न्यूमेरेसी और लिटरेसी की आइडिया हो, राइट? सो दिस NEC वुड बी रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर गाइडिंग द मिशन ऑन पॉलिसी इश्यूज एंड एश्योर द टारगेट सेट अप फॉर द मिशंस that are achieved by 2026 or 2027. So this is basically a deadline that is set for the Nippon mission. And the committee would be chaired by the Union Education Minister. So this is again something very important because this calls for a grassroots level intervention by the government of India. Now 7 PM Mitras Park that has been launched. Ministry of Textile have approved the establishment of PM Mega Integrated Textile and Regional Apparel Park. ये जो पार्क होगी, it would aim to develop the integrated large scale and modern industrial infrastructure facilities जो कि इंडिया के वैल्यू चेन, खास करके टेक्सटाइल इंडस्ट्रीज की बात करें, उनको एडवांस्ड करेगी, उनको रिवैम्प करेगी. एंड इट इज़ वेरी एसेंशियल वेयर गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया इज लुकिंग फॉरवर्ड फॉर आत्मनिर्भर भारत इनिशिएटिव, राइट? जो हमारी कोशिश है गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया की आत्मनिर्भर भारत की, वो बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट है इन टर्म्स ऑफ टेक्सटाइल सेक्टर ऑल्सो. So this park would be dedicated to the area where manufacturing, utilities, logistic and commercial development would also be taking place. So बात करें इस कुछ important features की about the scheme. So first is development capital support which would be there. So the scheme provide 30% of the project cost of the development of the greenfield and brownfield project of the PM Mitras Park. तो गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से कुछ असिस्टेंस आनी है, बट उसकी कैटेगरीज बनाई गई हैं. If you talk about the greenfield, यहाँ पे eligible maximum support जो मिलनी है that is up to 500 crores. ग्रीनफील्ड पार्क्स वैसे पार्क्स होते हैं जिसमें स्क्रैच से काम की जाती है, फ्रॉम स्क्रैच इट इज बीइंग स्टार्टेड. एंड ब्राउनफील्ड प्रोजेक्ट आर दैट प्रोजेक्ट जहाँ पे रेनोवेशंस, जहाँ पे कहीं स्कोप ऑफ इम्प्रूवमेंट है, किसी कंस्ट्रक्शंस को वापस से बनानी है, नो इट्स मोर ऑफ अ रेनोवेशंस. फॉर दैट पर्टिकुलर द मैक्सिमम सपोर्ट वुड बी 200 करोड़. तो ये जो डिविजन्स हैं, ये जो बाइफर्केशंस हैं, ये जो डिफरेंस है, ये आपको पता होनी चाहिए. फॉर ग्रीनफील्ड इट इज 500 करोड़, फॉर ब्राउनफील्ड इट इज 200 करोड़ ओनली. And this is creations for more core infrastructures like the development sites, incubation centers, road, power, water, और वर्कर्स के लिए हॉस्टल्स, वेयर हाउसिंग एंड मेडिकल फैसिलिटीज. तो ये सारी चीज़ें इंक्लूडेड होनी चाहिए इन ऑल दैट कंस्ट्रक्शन और एक्सपेंसेस वर्क. Now, competitive incentive support की बात की गई. The scheme makes a provisions that 300 crore per part to incentivize the manufacturers unit to get as set up as early as possible. Or incentive can be provided to manufacturing unit up to 3% of the total sale of the turnover in the first come first serve basis. तो हर एक लोगों के लिए नहीं है. This is restricted to first come and first serve. And this is support available to those manufacturer companies who are not availing the PLI scheme, because government initially has also brought up the production linked incentive scheme textile में. तो जो जिन लोगों ने इसकी benefits ली हैं, they are not eligible to take this Mitra scheme again, the beneficiaries there. तो ये एक बहुत ही important significant point है for prelims point of view. Make sure you note this or remember this. Locations of park की अगर बात करें, the state government would be requesting to submit the proposal for setting up PM Mitra's park. और जो sites होगी that would be ranked based on the parameters like connectivity कितनी अच्छी है, power, water infrastructure, waste water disposable, labor laws, single window clearances. ये सारी चीज़ें हैं that would be taken into consideration before a location or site is being selected for the PM Mitras. Cyber security in power sector, again very essential, which was a long concern topic, and finally government has come up with some security issues in terms of power sector. So the Ministry of Power has released the Central Electricity Authority Cyber Security in Power Sector Guideline 2021, and there are some three main core objectives of this guideline. First is to create and ensure cyber ecosystem in our country. Second is to strengthen the regulatory framework of the electricity related issues, and third would be securing remote operational and services in the power sector. So power sector is again something which is a stress sector in India. We also have some surplus, but this is a sector which need and call for more lot surplus. Now features, what are the features of this guideline? First is the cyber security policy. All responsible entities must formulate a cyber policy, जहाँ पे जितने भी responsible entities होंगे, that would include किन entities को responsible entities कहा जाएगा, that would be having power utilities, generations, transmissions and distributions. So this would be called as a responsible entities. Load dispatch centers, power trade exchange, regional power committees and regulatory commission. So these all are under the definitions of responsible entities of the power sectors. Now cyber security requirements की बात करें, all responsible entities must set up an information security divisions, और ये जो security division है उसके head होंगे CISO. He stand for the Chief Information Security Officer. So this is a point, basically post, or you can see that designation which has to be filled by the power sector. And all security division must deploy the detections and prevention system to identify behavior anomalies in operation and IT system. जो भी खामियां हैं उनको दुरुस्त करने के लिए, उनको ठीक करने के लिए, उनको रेक्टिफाई करने के लिए ये सारी चीजें की जा रही है. Further, the security division must ensure the timely action on the guideline issues by the certain authorities like Indian Computer Emergency Response Team. जिस तरह से ICERT टीम काम करती है गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया के लिए, उस तरह से ये पर्टिकुलर जो डिविजन्स होंगी वो सिर्फ पावर सेक्टर के लिए काम करेंगे डेडिकेटली. Now, Amendment to Environment Protections Rule 1986, again something very important for your prelims. Many a times UPSC tend to ask questions on the environment related issues, so this is something important for them. The Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change has amended the Environment Protections Rule 1986 to regulate the use of RO-based water purification system. Right? क्या क्या चेंजेस की गई हैं? फर्स्ट, डोमेस्टिक वाटर प्यूरिफिकेशन सिस्टम जो है वाटर प्योरिफिकेशन सिस्टम जो इसकी जो कैपेसिटी होगी दैट वुड बी अप टू 25 लीटर्स, एंड इट वुड बी अलाउड दैट ये मशीन्स 25 लीटर से ज़्यादा पर आवर वाटर कंज्यूम ना करें, एंड आर डिफाइंड फॉर द डोमेस्टिक वाटर प्योरिफिकेशन पर्पस ओनली. And the manufacturer intended to sell the system, water purifier system, must obtain certificate from the Bureau of Indian Standard. जो BIS है उनसे उनकी certifications mandatory होगी, after which they can operationalize or sell their products. Other than domestic water purifier system की बात करें, all users or purifier of the system must apply for registration with the State Pollution Control Board और the Pollution Control certificates जो है वो उनको लेनी जरूरी होगी. All entities involved with the water supply must inform their consumer about the sources and quality of water. किस तरह की water की output है. No vague or no ambiguous information is should be considered in this fact, because water is very essential. It is very good for your it is essentially very good for your health if you consume a good quality of water. And domestic water purification system implementations and amended would be monitored by the Center Pollution Control Board, that is CPCB. इसके बारे में आप डिटेल में पढ़ सकते हैं. यूपीएससी हैज आस्क्ड क्वेश्चंस अबाउट द सेंट्रल पॉल्यूशन कंट्रोल बोर्ड. इट कैन आस्क एनी अदर क्वेश्चन फ्रॉम दिस पर्टिकुलर ऑफिस. Now, draft Indian Maritime Fisheries Bill 2021, again very important. Department of Fisheries, they have released the draft Indian Marine Phase 2021. The draft bill provides for the sustainable development of fisheries resources, and it also seeks to promote the livelihood, socio-economic well-being and traditions of the small scale fisheries. तो जितने भी जो छोटे फिशरी सेक्टर से जो लोग जुड़े हुए हैं उनको किस तरह से बेनिफिट पहुंचाया जा सके, एंड व्हाट इज द यूनिफॉर्म रूल्स दैट शुड बी देयर अपॉन विच द गवर्नमेंट हैज लुक्ड. बात करें कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट ड्राफ्ट बिल के फीचर्स की. फर्स्ट इज अबाउट द लाइसेंसिंग. सो द इंडियन फिशरीज वेसल must not engage in fishing or fishing related without a valid license under the bill. So license has become a mandatory provision under this bill, and it will call for the applicable fishings to the high seas, international water outside the exclusive economic zone, जो कि 200 nautical miles के आगे अगर इंडियन कोस्ट लाइन में है तो वो वहाँ तक रेस्ट्रिक्टेड होगी. नॉन मोटराइज्ड जो फिनिशिंग वेसल्स होती हैं वो एग्जेम्प्टेड होगी फॉर द लाइसेंस, राइट. Now, moving ahead, talking about the applicability. So, the bill would be applying to Indian fishery vessels only, or Indian fishery vessels किसको कहेंगे? It is defined as a fishing vessels owned by the Indian citizen under the Merchant Shipping Act 1958. And all fishing vessels which fall under the definition of foreign fishing vessel would not be eligible for this. Now, fishing related activities की बात करें under the draft bill, the fishing related activities include landing, parking, and the marketing of fishes. Now, restrictions on foreign fishing vessels, जितने भी foreign vessels हैं, that would be not be engaging in the fishing related activities in the Indian maritime zone, right? ऐसी एरिया जो कि within area of 200 nautical miles coast line के अंदर में आती है, वहाँ पे ये allowed नहीं होंगे. And foreign vessels through such area must follow the prescribed procedures. Now, national policy on marine fisheries की अगर बात करें, so the central government will, after consultation with the state government, would prepare and notify the state policy जहाँ पे marine fisheries के बारे में एक uniform one nation one policy on marine fisheries की बात की गई है, and the policy will lay down a broader guideline in development of marine fisheries or marine sector so that it help the people who are engaged in the fisheries activities. So this was all about the PRS analysis for the month of October. And if you want to practice a lot more important questions, we have test series for you where you can avail 60 high quality tests. You can attempt for this question twice and you will get a regular evaluation of your test, right? And apart from this, you can also avail the 12-month subscription of the IAS Gazetted monthly current affair magazine. So मैंने वीडियो के डिस्क्रिप्शन में इसके लिंक दिए हुए हैं, आप चेक कर लें. You can get the details from there and you can register for it. So this was all about the analysis. We'll meet in the next month for some of the important news that would be relevant for the examination. If you have any other concern, do let me know. I'll be more than happy to assist you. For time being, I'm signing off, and we have a lot more other initiatives like daily news editorial analysis, IAS Gazetted, fortnight current affairs, PIB, PRS, Yojana, Kurukshetra, that will help you to sail through the journey of civil services, right? So I really thank you for watching this video, and we'll meet in the next one. Thank you so much.